And it looks like I'm live on YouTube. Hello, everyone in the eldaliéva Elven Spiritual Path community. This is Calendar, and we're here to celebrate Cuiverë Quendiva, which is the awakening of the Quendi, or the Elves, and it's also the Elven First Day of Winter. And I want to make sure that you guys can hear me because I didn't get time to test that. Can you hear me and see me okay? And I see that we have in the room Draco, Nimue, and Astrophel so far. And I'm glad to see you guys. Thank you. Awesome. Okay, well then, without much ado, we'll go ahead and get going because I know that it's, the thing is that Cuiverë Quendiva usually intersects somehow with the Thanksgiving holiday weekend in the United States, and it can be really hard to do schedules and other things. And so I really appreciate you guys being here because I realize that lots of people are very busy today, including Dave, who's usually here like solidly, but he's on his way to Ohio right now. And I hope that all of you have a wonderful Thanksgiving if you celebrate. For now, we'll go ahead and get started. This is the star flower. If you want to bring that image into your mind and imprint any water that you have. I have my water jug right here. And so I put that image into the water. And the Lake of Cuivienen is water. So like there's a lot of water emphasis with this particular Elven holiday, which is called a Meriale. And also the stars. So there's a particular star that's important, and it's called Helluin, which is what we know as Sirius up in the sky. Like that's what astronomers even call Sirius. But in Tolkien's universe, that particular star body is called Helluin, and it means blue shine. And that figures in. So I'm just kind of foreshadowing, I guess, for some of you who may not know what Cuiverë Quendiva is about. So anyone new, like watching the replay, coming in on the live stream, because I guess that I did some search terms right. So looks like, because we have 4 people watching, and so I'm not really sure who the other ones are. I know who 3 of you are. So we'll go ahead and get going. So Cuiverë Quendiva, the awakening of the elves, by Iluvatar in the lakes of Cuivienen. And we are honoring the elves and their awakening, their creation and their origin and their awakening today. We can start with Linde Ellen Lote, the Song of the Starflower, to set our ritual energies. So we want to begin in the center of wherever you are, so wherever your center is. And we want to face east because actually, interestingly, that is the direction that Cuivienen is located, the origins of the elves. So if you can face east and do all of the motions, great. If you're at a computer like I am, just visualize yourself facing east. And that's where we'll begin. So we can put our hands in either like a holding position. We can put it in Namaste, which that's what I'm going to do. It's like kind of hold your hands together. We're going to intone Eru. Okay, Eru Iluvatar, the all that is. Okay. Eru. And then we're going to make a figure that is similar to the septagram. You'll notice that in Tia eldaliéva, we have a septaquitra, which is the curved edged. We made up that name for that particular shape to separate it from this. However, the points still are the same on the acute elven star. Okay, like that's what a lot of people call this. They call it a fairy star, an otherkin star, a septagram, a heptagram. There's many names for this shape. Okay, so we will start at what the 4 o'clock position is. So wherever that is for you, for me, 4 o'clock is here, but it might be over here for you. So we'll start here and we'll intone, because what we're going to do is we're going to do the 6 elven days of the week plus the extra day that the Numenorians added on, I guess, what is Thursday's position. So Elenia is star day. Elenia. Trace it over to the 8 o'clock position. We intone Sunday, Anaria. Anaria. Go up to the 2 o'clock position and we intone the moon day, Isilia. Isilia. Down to the 7 o'clock position, and we intone the trees day, which is for the 2 trees, Laureline and Telperion. And we say Alduia. Alduia. And then at the noon position at the top, we have Menelia, Heaven's Day. Menelia. Down to the 5 o'clock position, we intone the Numenorian day of the Elven week. This is the sea day or the mariner's day, and it's pronounced Earenia. Earenia. Over to the 10 o'clock position, which we then intone Valanya, which is the day of the powers, the day of the Valar. Valanya. And then we close, coming back to the 4 o'clock position, we close this and intone Arda, which is our earth that we live on. Arda. And now we want to hold our hands either out this way. We can even do Namaste again, whichever feels right. For me, it feels right to just hold my hands open. And we intone Aya, which means behold. It's the word that formed once the songs were sang by the Ainur, which were the thoughts of Eru Iluvatar, into this universe that we have. So, and I'm going to intone it 3 times. Aya. 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 Now we want to acknowledge the Valar and all the directions. And the first one, you're already facing there, hopefully. This is east, and this is the Tengwar for east, named Roman. So we'll intone it after we trace it in the eastern part of wherever your workspace is. You then hold your hand in what we call Fear Not Mudra, which is just your fingers together and your palms facing outward, and that they're straight, and we intone Roman. Roman. We now call on Manwe Sulimo, the High King of Arda, of the eagles and the winds, and his lady Varda Elentari, the Queen of the Stars and the of Arda and Iluvatar's children, we welcome you into our circle. Ayah. We now want to make the figure for south. This is the Tengwar Hjarmen. And face south and make that particular symbol with your fingers. Or if you have an athame or if you have a wand, whatever that you use. You can even use 2 fingers, whatever works for you. Hold your hand in Fear Not Mudra. We intone Hjarmen. Hjarmen. We now call on Tulkas, the youngest, bare-handed, ruddy, warrior Vala, and Nessa, the sister of Orome, and the friend of the deer, she who dances on the new green grass. We welcome you into our circle. Ayah. And now we want to face north. Okay, and then this is the Tengwar for north. It looks like a B with an underline. And it's called Formen. Formen. We now call on Aule, the smith who dwells in the ground, the Vala of the mining and crafting of metals and gemstones, he who created the dwarves as a gift to Iluvatar, and to our motherly Yavanna Kementari, the giver of fruits, the queenly valier of Arda's maturing green vegetation of harvest, and of the life that nourishes all of us. We welcome you into our circle. Ayah. Okay, and we want to do the top one here because there's a couple on this page. We want to do the one that looks like an N, and we want to do this in the center or on our heart chakra, basically. Okay, we trace that Tengwar, and this Tengwar is called Ore, which is kind of like the heart or the inner mind. However, we intone me because it means within. Okay, so go ahead and put this on your heart chakra. Put your hand over your heart, and let's intone me. Me. We now call on the hunter Vala Orome, the lord of the forests, he who loves the elves and wanders all of Arda, on horseback with his horn, and to Vanna, the ever young and the vital, she who aligns with the flowers and the new plant growth. We welcome you into our circle. Ayah. And then we want to do the bottom one, so I'm going to hold it up so you don't mix it up. It's the one with the U with the line over the top. We do this above our head. That is the Tengwar. This one here, okay, where my finger is the Tengwar for sky, okay, Vilia. However, we will be intoning or because that means above, okay? So we can put our hand up and look up if you'd like and intone, or we can just do it toward the computer and visualize above. Or. We now call on Lorien, the Vala of the high light gardens, who nurtures our goals, our visions, and our dreams. He's also known as Namo. Irmo. And Este, the gentle, the valier of rest, sleep, and healing. We welcome you into our circle. Ayah. Okay, or Ayah. Now we go underneath us, and since this is the best we can do for a Tengwar, for under us, this is the Tengwar for Arda. You'll notice that it looks really similar to East Roman, but it has an extra tail. So we put this underneath us, okay? And then you can hold your hand in the Fear Not Mudra, either down low or even up high, but you can hold it parallel to the floor. Let's intone undo, which means below. Undo. We now call on those of the Valar who walk alone. Ulmo, the brother of Manwe, the powerful and protective Vala of all of the musical waters of Arda. And to Nienna, the Valier of our transformation and our rebirth, and it is she who cries with her tears and intensely cleanses and restores all forms of fear, pain, and hurt that have come before, restoring us to original form. We welcome you into our circle, Aya. We finally have Numen, which is the Tengwar for west. So, and hopefully you guys are able to change the directions, but at least visualize. So, like, for me, west is over here. So I can trace the Tengwar for west, and we intone Numen, okay? Numen. We now call on Namo of the halls of Mondos, the Vala of the balance and fair judgment of our respective paths of death, and Vaire, the weaver of the ever-changing threads of time, the past, the present, and the future. We welcome you into our circle, Aya. And finally, while we're still facing west, we can either visualize a flame. Now, you guys, if you have a candle, that's even better. But if you don't, it's fine. We can visualize a flame like a candle flame. We can visualize just holding it in our, and just visualizing a flame in like a dish, right? Like your hands. You can also decide to make a flame that's very jiggly and very flame-like, okay? Whatever you want to do, bring the flame into existence, because we are going to be intoning Iluvatar, which is the all, the everywhere, okay? We want to put our hands in Namaste position now. We acknowledge that we are one with Eru Iluvatar, as well as the spirit of Christ consciousness for Christians who are present today or watching the replay. We feel the flame imperishable within us in our circle of celebration on this day or this evening. Laita, many blessings. And now I get to switch to a new document. Let us celebrate Cuiverë Quendiva, the awakening of the elves, and the first day of Elven Winter on this day. I'd like to do a little something different. I wanted to share from the 2021 Il Salunte Valion ritual, the Cuivienen, which is the legend of the awakening of the Quendi and this is adapted from the War of the Jewels. While their first bodies were being made from the flesh of Arda, the Quendi slept in the womb of the earth, beneath the green sward, and awoke when they were full grown. But the first elves, also called the unbegotten or the eru begotten, did not all wake together. Eru had so ordained that each should lie beside his or her destined spouse. But 3 elves awoke first of all, and they were elf men, for elf men are more strong in body and more eager and adventurous in strange places. These 3 elf fathers are named in the ancient tales Emin, Tata, and Enel. They awoke in that order, but with little time between each, and from them, say the Eldar, the words for 1, 2, and 3 were made. The oldest of all numerals, Emin, Tata, and Enel, awoke before their spouses. And the first thing that they saw was the stars. For they woke in the early twilight before dawn. And the next thing they saw was their destined spouses lying asleep on the green sward beside them. Then they were so enamored of their beauty that their desire for speech was immediately quickened, and they began to think of words to speak and sing in. And being impatient, they could not wait, but woke up their spouses. Thus, the Eldar say the first thing that each elf woman saw was her spouse. And her love for him was her first love. And her love and reverence for the wonders of Arda came later. At length, they all set out together again, but Emin noticed that each time they had found more Quendi than before, that means elves or speakers, and he thought to himself, I have only 12 companions, although I'm the eldest. I will take a later choice. Soon they came to a sweet-smelling fir wood on the hillside, and there they found 18 pairs of Quendi, and all were still sleeping. It was still night, and the clouds were in the sky. But before dawn, a wind came and roused the elf men, and they woke and were amazed at the stars, for all the clouds were blown away, and the stars were bright from the east to the west. And for a long time, the 18 new Quendi took no heed of the others, but looked at the light of Menel, the heavens. But when, at last, they turned their eyes back to the earth, they beheld their spouses and woke them to look at the stars, crying to them, Elen, Elen. And so the stars got their name. Now, Emin said, I will not choose again yet. And Tata, therefore, chose these 36 to be his companions. And they were tall and dark-haired and strong like fir trees. And from them most of the Noldor later were sprung. And the 96 Quendi now spoke all together, and the newly waked devised many new and beautiful words, and many cunning artifices of speech, and they laughed and they danced upon the hillside until at last they desired to find more companions. Then they all set out again together until they came to a lake dark in the twilight. And there was a great cliff about it upon the east side, and a waterfall came down from the height, and the stars glittered on the foam. But the elf men were already bathing in the waterfall, and they had waked their spouses. There were 24 pairs, but as yet had no formed speech, though they sang sweetly, and their voices echoed in the stone, mingling with the rush of the falls. But again, Emin withheld his choice, thinking next time it will be a great company. Therefore, Enel said, I have the choice, and I choose these 48 to be my companions. And the 144 Quendi dwelt long together by the lake until they all became of one mind and one speech, and were glad. At length, Emin said, it is time now that we should go on and seek more companions. But most of the others were content. So Emin and Eminye and their 12 companions set out, and they walked long by day and by twilight in the country about the lake, near which all the Quendi had awakened, for which reason it is called Cuivienen. But they never found any more companions, for the tale of the first elves was complete. So I wanted to also get ready for our meditation. And so I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to still use the format that we have here, and I'm going to put some lapping lake sounds in the background. And so it'll be kind of all together. So I won't really be timing the meditation, as, you know, I just will time it when the end of the meditation happens. And I'll probably give a few minutes afterwards just so that we can have the lake sounds. Okay. So let me get that started. So we want to calm and center ourselves while we take some slow and very deep breaths. Let's circulate the light of Telperion in our left side of our body that glows silver. Let's let that circulate on the silver left-hand side of the body. Circulate that light particularly in your third eye chakra, as well as your sacral chakra, which is about 3 inches below your belly button. And now we want to circulate the lauraline light, the sunlight, the golden light, through all of our chakras, along with the crown chakra particularly, and the solar plexus, which is just below the joining of your rib cage. We want to breathe, and we want to see the golden energy and the silver energy fluctuate gently organically, nature's way. And we want to bring our roots down into Arda, the earth, and wrap your roots around the source energy. The source energy comes up through the roots and nourishes you and everything and everyone on Arda. Arda gives us this wonderful, excellent, cleansing source nourishment. Also, we want to drop a grounding cord that is a drain, if you will, in the center of where your roots are. You want to drop a grounding cord, and this is a drain. And what we want to send down that drain is everything that has frustrated us, everything that has angered us, anything that has made us go into fear, guilt, shame, anger, pride, fear of any kind. Just send it right down the grounding cord, because what we are doing is we are accessing pure source energy. And now we want to bring our branches into the sky, and the branches bring down the sky energy. Okay, so it brings it down through the crown, through the third eye, through the throat, and through the heart, the center, and through the solar plexus, through the sacral chakra and the root, and all the way through the hands, all the way down to the feet. And bring this light and watch it fluctuate inside of you and fill you with beautiful energy while you are at the same time releasing what no longer serves you. Yes, we can chalk it up to experience, but we can let the energy go, and we can forgive. We forgive ourselves, and we forgive others. And this is a really treacherous time right now, so we really need to do this a lot. So we're really, really grounded into Arda, and we're very, very connected to Menel and Velia, the heaven, the skies above. And now we want to concentrate in the sky. We see Sirius, which happens to be called Helluin, blue shine. And we see Helluin shining after sunset. We see Helluin shining in the eastern sky after the sun sets. We want to pay attention to how this feels, because the elves were awoken by this star. Maybe you feel a gentle, cool tingling, or you notice light glimmer on your hands, your arms. Your senses are correct. And as we breathe in this lovely blue shine, starlight, we expand its radiance through our being. And we let it awaken us more fully, bringing us vitality, bringing us sovereignty, bringing us connection to Arda, and to all that is, and all who vibrate at this rate. And we look down and we notice that we are near the Lake Cuivienen, and we're lying on the green grass. And we can be, as the elves, asleep, and suddenly seeing all of the stars, and particularly Helluin, and feel awakened and bursting into song and speaking words that had never been spoken. Finding other elves and communicating, speaking, singing. The excitement of Ea is opening. It had been just the Valar and some of their creations on Arda up until now. And in fact, the elves were the first of Iluvatar's children to awaken. And we already know that Iole wanted to awaken the dwarves first, but only because he was too excited. He wanted to make things and he wanted his workers, and he just was very excited, but he waited. So the elves were the first beings to awaken in this wondrous, pure world that was formed by the song of the Ainur. And now we can look around Arda. We can look around in the sky above us. Hopefully it's even dark when you're watching this video or when you are experiencing it live right now. Maybe you can see the stars outside. You can envision yourself walking now on a forest path, maybe up a mountain so that you can see Lake Cuivienen underneath and see the backdrop of mountains, trees, most of all the sky that is twinkling and beautiful. The stars, which in a sense gave the name eldaliéva to the elves, the star people. By the light of the stars, we can see passages all around. You can hike wherever you'd like. You could walk around the lake. You could go deep in the woods. You can climb a mountain and go to the top. Whatever feels right for you. And then wherever you find yourself, nestle into a comfortable place so that you can get messages from Spirit at this time. And I'll set the clock now for 5 minutes. Actually, I'll ask my pendulum how long I should make this meditation. Oh, it says 10 minutes. Okay, you guys are good meditators. 10 minutes. And I'll keep the lake sounds so that we can more fully access those parts of our subconscious and that Spirit has messages for us. And I'll start the timer now. the time is now right to bring our meditation to a close. So you can get up from the area in which you sat near the Lake Cuivienen, wherever you are, the mountain, in the thick of the woods, on the shoreline, on the green grass, and in any case, probably looking at the stars. We want to bid farewell to this area. We want to bid farewell to the elves and face west and go back into the normal world that we live in, the normal expression of Arda today. Before we do so, I was guided in meditation to impart upon all who are viewing this video an elven symbol that is a combination of all of the symbols of the Kirth, which is the runic expression of the Tengwar. There's two different writing systems. We had combined these symbols together to create a symbol of protection a long time ago. And I was imparted to just mentally send that out to you. We may do a video on that one day for our patrons. But for right now, I want you guys to, if it feels aligned for you, I would like for all of you to invoke protection. And if it doesn't feel aligned for you, for whatever reason, do something that does align with what feels like protection to you, whether it be a pentagram, whether it be a cross, whether it's, a druid symbol or some other kind of thing that makes you feel sovereign and unshakable. Because I was told in the visions that things are going to start getting even crazier than they are right now. And we really need to be centered, and we have to think about what would the elves do. And I believe that the elves would retreat and look around and act with foresight to the degree possible, and realizing that we cannot be pulled out of our integrity for any reason. And so I hope that all of you can master that during these times. And if you cannot, please ask these energies for protection. Ask for Varda Elentari, the Queen of the Stars, and the Elven favorite of the Valar, to use Valakirka, which is her sickle of the Valar, and cut away anything that doesn't belong and send it away, and restore you with this beautiful light, the starlight, the moonlight, and the sunlight. Very interesting, Astrophel. Yeah. Yeah, I have a lot of distractions right now, but so right now we will come back to the real world, and we can bring the meditation to a close. And what we want to do is keep some of this golden and silver light that we see from the starlight, and of course the moonlight and the sunlight, which came much later, by the way, than the awakening of the elves, to keep it in our pockets so that we have access to this healing anytime that we'd like. And if you want, you can take a drink of water right now before we start closing the circle. Our work is done. We acknowledge the existence of Eru Iluvatar, the all that is, and the flame imperishable, while we are in circle, and we thank the Christ Spirit for being with us in circle for Christians who are present. And may we see your presence in all outside of this circle, Laita. Thank you to all of the Valar, and thank you to the elves and the stars and Lake Cuivienen for being with us in circle and for carrying out in spirit our work done on this day, this night. Laita. We open ourselves to you even outside of this circle. We acknowledge and we are grateful for the elements and the directions and, of course, the golden and the silver light for creating our blessed space in which we may do our spiritual work on this sacred night, Laita. And now we want to take all of the silver and the golden light that we've managed to bring through all of this work that we did. We just want to gather it all together. And then we want to push it down into Arda, because Arda could use the healing right now. Okay. Let Arda take care of us and we take care of her. So push that golden and silver light into Arda. Arda, here is a gift of energy, of the pure intent of love, light, and healing that comes from the very deepest places of our hearts. And may it heal you and your inhabitants and bring all things to perfect and natural balance. The circle is now open. Laita. And I will go ahead and stop the lake video. And I'll remove it. So I see that Astrofel went into deep meditation, almost falling asleep until this timer spooked her. Yeah. Maybe I should have made it 15 minutes long. I actually added a minute, like I just had an inclination at the last minute to add another minute. So we actually got 11 minutes of meditation. So, yeah, my visions were definitely, and maybe because even in my own life, I'm having, a lot of challenges. And so I'm guessing that, some of it might be colored with my experience. So if this is not your experience, that is okay. But I do get a message that there is a large wave of collective fear and panic that are happening because of events out of people's control. And, they don't like that very much. A lot of people don't want things to happen that are well beyond their means of controlling or, like having any say even. All we can do is master our own sovereignty and our own energy. And we need to really honor and value other people being able to do that for themselves. And then also for when they are not aligned in the energy that you are aligned in, we need to be able to distance ourselves. It doesn't mean that we have to dissociate. Okay. It doesn't mean that we have to not have feelings. But what we do need to do is feel that feeling perhaps and process it out and then let it go, because we need to nurture our compassion, but we don't need to be dragged down with a vibrational shift that is happening with a lot of people that are going to be dragged down right now. Astrofel says that reminded me of that big solar storm where a lot of new outlets are talking about a lot of new outlets. Okay, I'm not sure outlet wise what that means, but maybe that was like an autocorrect thing, where it will take decades for the internet to be recovered. Oh, I see. Oh, okay. You're talking about the solar storm that like did the electrical short out and then like kind of zapped a bunch of places. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. News outlets. Oh, very interesting. Well, news. Um, you know, uh wow, like with all of the lying and everything that like a lot of the news does, and I'm talking about on all sides, that seems in a way kind of like karmic, like a little bit to me. But not that I wish for any kind of information channels shorting out or anything. But what it tells me that we need to do is to really to be, you wish also fine for, okay, yeah, thank you. And if we hear anything from her, we'll definitely pass on your greetings. We just haven't heard anything, and we're under the idea that she just left her channel, and that she's doing something else in her life right now. But she's not hurt or anything like that. She just was walking away from this right now, and maybe she'll pick it back up. That would be wonderful, actually, if she did that. So what it reminds me of is this thing with the news and like all of the things that we're creating. I think that spirit wants to train us to rely on our intuition about how to navigate our lives. And the thing is that we don't need to know so much as what we need to trust. But in order to trust and have it be reliable, we need to be in alignment with the highest good and the highest expression that we are allowed to achieve, and that we strive to achieve. And in order to do that, we need to do a lot of healing and, just really doing self-care. Okay. Having very clear boundaries. We need to remain grounded and sovereign in our approach. And we need to make sure that we don't have any filters that are affecting the information that comes through. So no matter how much truth wants to get through to us, if we have filters that are filtering out the truth, we'll never get the truth. So we have to change our filters, per se. And the best way to do that is to have a practice, okay? Just like kind of what we did today, where we allow all of those emotions that are not serving us and our highest good and our highest expression of who we are, and allowing a lot of that to go down and go to the center of the earth in order to, recycle down there and make new energy that we can draw on, that we can then create something better and something beautiful and something light and something loving and something aligned in joy, more so than anything else. And that is where we're really needing to stay. And the more that we can stay in a joyful alignment, the more that you can stay centered and bring in the energies that the spiritual realms are wanting to bring to the earth right now. So I think that it's kind of interesting that a solar storm, of which, by the way, we as humans, we keep, the sun is kind of shining brighter and brighter, right? And the solar storms, it's affecting us too. Like, we have to up level all of our stuff, and we find that we're shorting out sometimes, like we think we're going crazy or whatever it is. And really, we are actually, like the earth and the sun, like there's a whole bunch of things where it's like we need to raise our vibration as humans. Okay. Now, the best way to do that is to do it for yourself. In other words, as an individual, raise your own vibration and it'll automatically start raising the vibration of others. You can't like go around to try to raise other people's vibration. That doesn't work. Okay. Like if you don't raise your own, okay. There is, and of course, in like, I guess the old ways that we were taught, like, if we didn't have things going our way, we had to, go in and manipulate other people in order to make a result come around for us. And sometimes that would harm other people as well. And that's just not the way. Okay. That's not how this is going to work. And so, see, I heard she went in hiatus so she can do inner healing. And yeah, okay. On that note, like, we're not going to, I don't see us disappearing. Okay. However, I can honor somebody pulling away and going in if they can't handle, like the outer world right now, and they get pulled into things that is not healthy for them, and they don't have, a way to like not do that, then yeah, I recommend like going inward. I do hope though that she at least has a support system. And I would, because isolation is not the way to do this either. Okay. We are stronger together. And that is why I came today. Because I mean, I've been having a lot of things going on too in my life that is, a little bit wacky. Okay. But I also realized that not only did I need this today, but a lot of people are going through some stuff and they need this as well. And for us to pause and just really bring back that light energy. Okay. And I know that YouTube has like gazillions of meditations and light and the flower of life and, all of these things. But for those of us that resonate with Elven energy, it's really hard to find Elven meditations that like resonate with the Elven energy of Tolkien. So I'm really glad to see all of you. Same-ish as well, as I just opened a jewelry business. Oh yeah. And by the way, yeah, I could see at the time of the year that you did that. Yeah, you might be busy, but there's also a lot of work to do. And congrats on that, because it's not easy to do that. It's, I think that, doing any kind of, I guess, creating multiple sources of income is a good project. Okay. And where we want to bring in large sums of money, always, constantly, every day, bringing large amounts easily, effortlessly, beautifully, in a perfect balance and in the highest good that you can keep or invest or spend the way you want. That would be awesome. So I'm going to shut this down pretty soon. I just wanted to let you guys know that we are going to be in the process of holiday kind of retreat. I have lots of changes going on. Relocation might be part of it. I'm just looking at some avenues right now for that. And of course, I'll keep everybody tuned. Nimue says, thank you for the beautiful ritual. For those who celebrate, have a happy Thanksgiving and stay happy, stay healthy. Namarie Laita. Yes, blessings, Nimue and Draco. Nice to see you guys online today. And I hope that you have a wonderful holiday weekend as well. And so Astrofel and Erundur, did I say that right? Adanion. Okay. I wish, and everyone watching, because I don't see how many people are watching right now, but also people with the replay. Okay. So I'm wishing all of you a great blessing. And like I said, don't forget that I am putting out there for your, if it feels right for you, ask to access the protective energy of the Elven bind rune that I'm sending for protection that we created from all of the Kjorth symbols. Okay, or at least almost all of the Kjorth symbols, and they kind of combine together. They fit together, and it's a really beautiful symbol. And we'll have to talk about that at another time. But anyway, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful week. Laita, many blessings to all of you. Okay, and thank you for attending. And I'll let you guys go and I'll end the stream. Okay. Good night. Goodbye. Much light and love.